There's some new reports talking about Hawkeye's role in the Black Widow movie. That's right, guys. Apparently, we're getting way more Hawkeye than we might have first anticipated. Let's break down where this report is coming from and how much we buy into it. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Take aim of that like button like Hawkeye and let your arrows fly. Seriously, smash like. YouTube's being really weird lately. We could definitely use some likes. Thank you. Now, full disclosure, this is coming from another anonymous 4chan leak, okay? I get it. 4chan! And particularly with Black Widow, I feel like we're getting so many weird plot leaks lately. It's a lot like an army of life model decoys coming after us as Marvel fans, and we're trying to sift through it all and figure out which one's the real plot leak. However, this plot leak does tie into many things that you can verify from the trailers and from other plot leaks that have been shared as well. So take it with a big old grain of salt and potential spoilers from here on out. But let's talk about this new plot leak. We'll talk about a few cool things that are in it, and we will talk about how much Hawkeye is going to be in this movie and what kind of role he's going to play. So the leak starts out by saying that Natasha is attacked by a widow, and she takes the communicator from that widow and basically finds a lot out from that. Now, she reaches out to a man named Mason, who is an ex-SHIELD agent and I believe an ex-lover of Black Widow as well. But either way, Natasha has some kind of relationship with Mason. She thinks she can trust him. She reaches out to Mason and finds out from the communicator she takes from the Black Widow that the Widow program is targeting her sister Yelena. Now, at this point, Taskmaster is already tracking down Natasha. There's going to be her kind of getting out of things because of that. By the way, Ross is looking for her as well, and it's really interesting to see how this is all going to intersect. But we get to a point where Natasha tracks down Yelena and shows up to try to help Yelena. And of course, at first, Yelena is going to think that maybe Natasha's there to kill her because other widows have come to try to kill Yelena as well, and they're going to have a fight, but then reveal that no, Natasha's there to help. From there, Yelena is going to info drop a bunch of stuff into Natasha's lap, including the fact that the Red Room has been reactivated. It has a new director, and this director is using a new serum to mind control the widows. Yelena, definitely not down with being mind controlled, bails out and escapes. And another person that Yelena and Natasha have history with, the character of Melina, who is the older mentor character. This is Rachel Weisz's character from the trailers and in the movie. That character also rejects the new director and has escaped and is also being hunted down by the widows. It is revealed that Taskmaster is Tony Masters and that he has this crazy ability to mimic different people's movements and abilities. They also discover that Taskmaster is working with the new director, the person that basically reopened the Red Room and is creating new widows. And the whole thing they're trying to do now is to get to the gulags and actually find Red Guardian, who has a version of the super soldier serum running through his veins. They are going to get him out of there. They're going to extract his blood and hopefully create super soldier powered Black Widow assassins. Now we come to find out that actually, yes, it was Mason who was pretending to be Taskmaster, and they were using technology to mimic the powers of the actual Tony Masters. And so Tony Masters might still exist in the MCU, might still be Taskmaster, but will not be who is revealed to be Taskmaster in the film. Now, when it comes to Hawkeye himself, apparently throughout the film, there will be flashbacks back to the Budapest moment, which is awesome because that's what all of us were thinking about. It's like, look, they had this history in Budapest. Why are we not going to see that in the Black Widow movie? Well, according to this leak, we will be seeing that. And we'll sort of get the story that Black Widow, or Natasha at this point, is hired to go kill Dreykov, right? But Dreykov's daughter is with him, and Natasha does not want to kill the young girl, but apparently she can't stop whatever has been put into process. Her superiors are like, no, we're going to do it anyways, and blow up both Dreykov and Dreykov's daughter. And if you're an astute Marvel fan, you will remember that that's something that Loki brings up to Natasha in the first Avengers movie when she's talking about wiping out the red in her ledger. So Dreykov is killed, and so is his daughter. Natasha feels super bad about this, but apparently Hawkeye had been there spying on Dreykov the whole time. He is then given an order by SHIELD to take out Natasha, but for some reason, he doesn't do it. He can see that she's actually really remorseful over having having killed the young girl. The two of them will join forces and fight off the coming Russian army that's there to shut down Natasha because of what she did to Dreykov. And so Hawkeye and Black Widow are going to together fight their way out of that situation, and then there will be a scene showing how Hawkeye recruits Natasha to join S.H.I.E.L.D. to try to wipe out some of that red. And interestingly, to bring everything full circle at the very end of the film, Natasha will be taken into custody by Thunderbolt Ross. This is all going to come to a head. Thunderbolt Ross is going to find her and take her into custody, but Hawkeye actually shows up to rescue Natasha and then get her in touch with Captain America's secret Avengers, which would make a lot of sense and set her up to be with Captain America during the events of Infinity War. And there was a prelude Infinity War comic book that shows that Natasha is with Falcon and Steve Rogers in that secret Avengers team. But apparently we're getting a lot more Hawkeye than we might have thought. I mean, there's literally no Jeremy Renner in this trailer. There's no Jeremy Renner in any of the promotion for the Black Widow movie, and it's going to be a big surprise when that happens in the theaters, if it does indeed happen. Remember, this is just a plot leak. We got to take it with a grain of salt, but let's kind of speculate about what we think this will mean if it ends up happening. I mean, frankly, I love it. I think they have brilliant chemistry together, and particularly because they are both together in the events of Endgame when Natasha ultimately sacrifices herself for the rest of her family, that would be the Avengers. It would make sense to have Renner in this film quite a bit. In fact, there's some talk of a post-credit scene in which Renner will be in the present day at the grave of Natasha with his daughter, which could potentially tie into the Hawkeye show. And while it's kind of a bummer that Hawkeye won't be hanging out more in the actual movie, the flashbacks will probably sprinkle that throughout, and we'll get plenty of Hawkeye throughout the movie. And then at the very end, when she's in custody, it's going to be really interesting to see how does Clint even come to find her and rescue her. At that point, would he not already be under house arrest, or how's that going to work exactly? I'm going to be very interested to see how that actually takes place if it happens at the end of the movie. And so in general, I'm into it. I'm pumped. I love Hawkeye, and I think that it's great that he's going to be in this movie way more than we thought. I think it's a weird choice to not sort of show that in the trailers a little bit more. I think potentially, you know, if we could go back to just a few weeks ago when the movie was projected to open at $130 million, part of the concern was that there wasn't enough of a big draw to get people to go see Black Widow. There was all this talk of maybe other Avengers being in the film, but nothing was actually shown in the marketing. I think showing Hawkeye in the marketing might have been a smarter decision. I mean, it wouldn't have really given that much away and would have given people an even more kind of amped up hype reason to go check out Black Widow. Now, another thing that's in the leaks that's not really Hawkeye related all has to do with this Taskmaster character. The fact that Tony Masters is going to be Taskmaster in the movie, but they're actually going to sort of hide that identity. Like what it says in the leak is that the Mason character is framing Tony Masters and making everybody think that Tony Masters is the person that's involved with this new director. But that won't actually be the case. And what's interesting about that is it will allow for Mason to be killed, which he likely will be in this film. He'll likely be killed by all the widows at the end of the movie. That's something that's in the plot leak. If you want to go read the full plot leak, you can check it out on Reddit or 4chan. I didn't go into every little detail here because I like to keep some surprises for people. But essentially, this kind of a twist would make it so, yeah, we can get rid of Mason, kill the Taskmaster in that movie, and yet still have a Taskmaster that will show up in the future of the MCU, likely to just be Tony Masters himself. And by the way, if the Taskmaster in Black Widow is all created through technology, there is a chance that other people, including a female widow, could be in that suit and utilizing that technology for different aspects or parts of the film. Charles Murphy had a scoop talking about how he believed there would be 2 Taskmasters in this movie. So we'll have to see how all of that plays out as well. But overall, I'm freaking hyped, man. I think this is going to be really cool. So whenever we do get to see Black Widow, which, you know, hopefully is sooner rather than later, we're going to hopefully get to experience all of this goodness. I would love for this Hawkeye stuff to be real, for some of the other stuff from the leak to be real, but I'm also excited to see what direction the movie's actually going to take. I'm one of those people that I don't get hung up on leaks. I still love to check out the actual product and have my experience created then and there. And so it doesn't taint it or hurt it for me at all. But I'm wondering what you think about this. Do you want Hawkeye to be in this movie? Do you buy into these leaks? You think people are just getting stir crazy and bringing up all kinds of crazy rumors on the internet? Whatever you're thinking about this story, let us know in the comment section below. And now let's shout out Rob Moore. Indeed, Red She-Hulk was Betty Ross Banner in the comics. So shout out to you, Rob, and holy crap, wouldn't it be cool if they brought the actress, wasn't that Evangeline Lilly? Wouldn't it be awesome if we brought her back and made her Red She-Hulk in the MCU? I think it would be spectacular. Now let's ask another nerd card question before we get out of here. I want to know what other new MCU character that's making a debut in Phase 4 was actually trained in hand-to-hand combat by the Tony Masters Taskmaster. There's a new character coming to the MCU that in the comics was trained by Taskmaster. I want to know what character was that. Answer that question in the comment section below. I want to remind you to let us know your thoughts about all of this stuff in the comment section below. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you want to support it, maybe hit that like button, share it with somebody that you think might find this video to be interesting. Make sure you check out our live streams over on our live streaming channel every day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're looking to take this support to the next level, consider joining the list of amazing people that you see below here, and check us out on Patreon for some behind-the-scenes content. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.